Hi, my name is Kara-Leah from the Yoga Lunchbox, and I'm really excited today. This is the first of what I hope will be a couple of interviews that I'm doing with some of the amazing teachers coming down to Wanderlust in New Zealand and Australia. So with me today I have Eoin Finn. He is a yogi, a surfer and a blissologist. We'll come back to that word. And he's based in Vancouver, Canada, although apparently he's moving south to get a bit more surf. You're going down to LA, is that right?
Well, you know,
maybe?
when I describe where I live to people, I'm basically on a circuit between Vancouver and LA and Bali.
Oh, nice circuit.
Yeah. And soon to be New Zealand.
Yeah. So is this
people describe it to me, I'm like, why am I not living there? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Have you been to New Zealand before?
No, I'm sad to say I haven't. And that's a horrible thing to say because it's my place, I can tell.
Yeah, and there's some amazing surf here.
I know there's some amazing surf. I know. You might not get rid of me.
So when you come, are you allowing enough time to sort of stop and breathe, or are you just sort of flying in and out and then off to the next thing?
No, actually my family's going to be in Bali, so, you know, that's the only thing that makes me cut it short. Otherwise, I would be there a long time. You know, whenever I'm away from my family, I always say I go from Blissology to Missology. You know, it's hard. Yeah. But I do have, I think... I'm not even totally sure. I think, you know, after Wanderlust, I'm going to be there for at least 5 days. So 2 or 3 of them are like other events that we're doing, little workshops and stuff in, actually I don't remember, Raglan's one town.
Yeah, there's Raglan.
Piha.
Piha, I was going to say you'll be going to Piha, I bet.
Piha and Raglan, yeah. So, you know, they asked if I wanted to stay longer and teach some workshops to people at Wanderlust, and I said, can you send me to some surf towns? And you know, just the places. So I'm on my way there. That's
awesome. So they look after you. I like that. So let's talk about this word blissology, because that's your thing, right? It's bliss and blissology. When I first read it, a bit of me went, oh, really? Come on. But having now spent time looking at you online, and I've looked at a few videos and I've read through some more stuff, I've gone, yeah, I get it. So tell us, for those who don't know you and don't know blissology, what's the deal?
Yeah, I mean, you'll get it more in person. I mean, actually, every time I have to answer that question, I'm like, just come and you'll get it like within the first 10 minutes. But, you know, it's basically the art of happiness, and to be happy, we realize that you need to be kind, because kindness equals happiness, period. And to be more kind, we just try and open up to a place inside of ourselves that's intimately connected to our heart and our deepest heart. And we try and keep it open, so strategies for that.
So how does that translate into a yoga class? Like, what makes one of your classes different from someone else, for example?
Well, you know, it's hard to talk about different because I kind of just look this way rather than that way, you know, side to side. But I would say there's a big focus on community. Meaning, you know, I believe 2 things. Like, if you want to be happy, then you should have a great relationship with nature and a really deep relationship with the community. And if you have those 2 things, you'll probably be happy. And if you can combine that with yoga, that is like the winning formula altogether. So, you know, I guess our spirituality, I guess, in the practice is really literally down to earth. Like, so much of my life personally is about trying to explain what happens when you get really quiet and present somewhere beautiful out in nature. And there's some kind of exchange there that, you know, really only the poets can truly express. But when you don't have it for long periods of time, it's really hard to be healthy and grounded and in touch with this place that we're trying to open up. So, you know, we have a big appreciation of nature every class. We're trying people to bring something beautiful from nature, and we make mandalas from it. You know, I love Shiva and Ganesha and Buddha, but even more than any of that, I just love the beauty of nature. And if everyone brings something beautiful and we put it all together, then it celebrates not just nature, but community also. So we have fun. You know, a lot of yoga practices, they say don't make eye contact. But, I mean, where I live anyway, people are still on their smartphones as we're shopping at Whole Foods, you know, like, we're in cars a lot. subways, people aren't really making eye contact already, you know, so we're trying to break down those barriers. We start every class with hugs. I don't know, it's just super, it's a big celebration, and it's really about connection, and it's a lot of fun, as well as everything deep and zen about yoga also. We're trying to get both.
Get it all in there. Now you're teaching a few different classes. I'm going to talk about one of them first. You've got Melt My Shoulders, Bliss My Hips. Now this is...
At Wanderlust?
Yeah, at Wanderlust. Yeah, so you're teaching that one in Auckland and in Sydney. Okay, and that's billed as intermediate to advanced. And
is it?
It is. So...
Oh, yeah. No, anyone can come.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask, because like I've been practicing yoga for over 10 years, and I'm like, I still consider myself a beginner, and when I see intermediate to advanced, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I can do that.
Oh, I didn't know. Well, just for the record, most of the classes I do, I call it all levels, all good. So, you know, everyone's welcome. You know, we just do level 1, do this, and the cool thing about the classes really is that the preparation for more advanced people is just kind of where beginners or people who are injured stay, you know. So we start at one place, and if that's not deep enough, then move on. But if it's deep enough, then challenging enough, then just check that out and stay there. And that's part of the community thing too, is like to really move from the competitive space, you know, where you're like, I have to keep up with that person, and really listen to the place and in yourself of wisdom and kindness that we're trying to talk about in Blissology. And so, we just try to move from a competitive place to more compassion towards your own self. So as long as you get that part of it straight, feel free to come to any class, no matter what level they put on the brochure or wherever they write the stuff.
So this class, when I was reading the description, is it more like a workshop, or is it more like a flow class? Like, is it quite detail orientated when you break things down, or is it more flow, or does it depend on the day and the people and the vibe?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're a yoga teacher too, and it's like we always walk into a class with not no plan, but you have 2 or 3 plans, and we sometimes go to plan B if we decide that plan A is not appropriate. But yeah, it's kind of reading energy and the level, you know. If I'm getting the sense that people have just done 3 hard classes that day, then, you know, I'm not really, you know, some people think, oh, yoga's only good if they're sore, you know, and I'm like, you know, that's not why we have sex. You know, it's supposed to be a very sensual experience. It's not supposed to be something that just makes you sore, I don't think. And so, yeah, if I get the feeling that people are tired, then we'll slow it down and do more detail work. Or if they're ready to go, we'll amp it up a little bit. But definitely, you know, I plan to give out some deeper knowledge because it is a workshop format. So just tips on, you know, we have all kinds of really neat ways of breaking down alignment that are kind of original, and some ways of breaking down more familiar alignment techniques, but just different language kind of things. So
I'm looking forward to that one, because I would love to be able to. I'd love to be able to mount my shoulders, but I'd love to bliss my hips. Like most people I talk to, the hips are the area where they have difficulty in yoga. So looking forward to it.
It's funny, isn't it? I know, it's always, whenever I teach and I ask people, what do you want to do? It's like, everyone always says, hips. Yeah. It's like, they sound like monkeys on helium. They're like, hips.
Oh, now you've taught at a few Wanderlusts before, right? How many have you taught at? I know you taught at Wanderlust Whistler.
Yeah.
Is that the only one, or have you taught at
other there?
Whistler?
No.
No.
You weren't.
No.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been.
No, I've taught at many, yeah.
Yeah.
I won't give you the list, but definitely a few, yeah.
So does it take a particular kind of skill set as a teacher then, when you're teaching at a festival like that, where, you know, people might be going back-to-back classes all day long? Is it different? And because you don't know the students really, do you? There are all these shiny, happy people in front of you that you've got no idea what they're bringing to the party.
You know, I spend a lot of my life trying to figure out what is energy, and I can't really answer it scientifically. I have my theories, But, you know, it's just, you have to really master energy to be a yoga teacher. That's what you're really, and a practitioner. I mean, I think whether you're a teacher or a student, you really ultimately the yogis taught us that we're about trying to realize that we're energy having the experience of being human. That's what yoga really is. And so you just tap into the energy and feel it and ride it. And I guess the only difference is it is like surfing, you know, like it's kind of the same technique you would use to ride a 5-foot wave or a 30-foot wave. It's just the scale is larger. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it just feels like the energy is just higher, which is good if you can really focus it. You know, it's a beautiful feeling. It can be super invigorating. But as a teacher, yeah, it's powerful.
Mm. Yeah, I imagine it's pretty amazing being up there on the stage.
You got to be ready to like jump in and like, okay, I'm going this triple overhead energy wave here. I'm ready.
Now in Auckland, you're doing an 8 a.m. meditation class. It's a 90-minute meditation. It's 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Is that like...
I didn't know this. Thanks for letting me know.
Hey, you didn't... I'm just reading the website.
Meditation, okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe, I mean, I'm assuming that's what's correct. That's what's on the website. And I was like, is that a tough slot? Like 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning, you sort of first bill and it's meditation. And yeah, I just wondered.
Yeah. You know, it might not be my first choice, but, you know, we'll dial it in for sure. Like, yeah. I mean, a lot of the meditation techniques I use are body-based. I mean, for me, I made a lot of progress with meditation when I really started to really understand that it wasn't just something that I was doing with my mind, but it was actually very physical practice, meaning if your body's really at peace, then your mind will follow. You know, that we don't really have a body and a mind, we have a body-mind, one unit. So if you can use techniques to make your body feel peaceful, your mind's going to feel like that. And so it's going to involve something physical. I'm not sure what.
So it's not like you'll ask people to sit still for 90 minutes without moving.
Right. No, definitely not.
Okay, that's good, right? No. Because I think
don't worry.
People
whatever happens, like whatever time of day it is,
yeah.
Whatever energy people, whatever space people are in, you know, we're going to set the dial exactly right for what they need.
Awesome.
So don't panic, yeah.
Yeah, I thought people might get a little bit intimidated with that and miss out on potentially something awesome because they wouldn't necessarily know you or know what you were going to offer in that 90 minutes of meditation.
Is it 90 minutes?
I think so. I mean, like I said, I'm just going by the website. I will double check afterwards, and if it's all wrong, we'll just put a disclaimer at the bottom of the video.
No, don't worry. No, it's good. Don't worry. Like we'll probably do some movement. Like I think meditation goes better with movement. So as I'm hearing it, I have a really good kind of combination of Tai Chi and yoga movements, and that sounds like at 8 a.m. That sounds like what we need to do to start off our morning.
Mm-hmm. The curious thing is that when you're doing your Sydney class, so you're in Sydney, Australia now, this is also 8 a.m., that one's billed as Earth Body Yoga Vinyasa. So
yeah,
the Sydney siders are getting something completely different from us over here in New Zealand. Who knows? It must be perfect, right?
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes. But you know what? We'll adapt it. You know, maybe meditation's a way bigger. I mean, one of my things is that you know, what we call meditation has to be so much bigger. So maybe it'll be more moving meditation.
I think meditation's an underrated aspect of yoga at the moment.
I sense a wave going on actually more towards meditation again. I do think it's underrated, but I think there's a current where it's coming up. I mean, there's kind of people who get it, and then there's another unfortunate wave in yoga over here anyway, where the classes are becoming 1 hour long, and I talk to people who run studios, and I'm like, well, what do you do? And they're like, they don't just cut out meditation, they cut out shavasana, the relaxation, and I'm just like, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what it's all about. So I think meditation, in some senses, is getting ignored, but there's a whole school of yogis that are really embracing it more. And at the corporate level too, actually, there's a big movement. Like, if you go to Silicon Valley over here, like, there's a lot of, there's a workshop on in February, Mindfulness 2.0, like, that has hundreds of CEOs for big corporations going and meditating. It's coming back.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, one last question before I let you go.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be any wolf howls on stage?
Any what? Wolf howls?
Wolf howls, yeah. Is it my funny Kiwi accent?
I can't guarantee anything. I mean, honestly, it's like, teaching is like having a seance. You just open yourself up and something beautiful comes through and something fun comes through. And, wolf howls are important though, because, when we talk about blissology, I guess that's it, is there's one type of bliss that's just about you and your hedonic pleasures and making yourself feel good. And the deepest bliss involves pain and sacrifice and like childbirth or child rearing or, even the loss of past lovers or people we used to love. Mm-hmm. Like when they disappear, there's so much love mixed with bitterness. And that's life. And, that's why we sometimes add wolf howls, because when I listen to wolves howling, I don't quite know if they're celebrating or lamenting. I don't know if it's bitter or sweet, but life really ultimately is a celebration of both, and it's beautiful. And sometimes we want to make life only sweet, and that's kind of a trap.
Thank you, Ian, so much for taking time to talk to me and the audience at the Yoga Lunchbox. I'm excited. I'm going to one of your classes at Wanderlust. I'm really looking forward to it. And I think that a lot of New Zealanders now, and Australians too, who may not have known of you before, will now have a better idea of what to expect, and so they can start, getting excited about going to your class as well.
Oh, cool. Well, thanks for taking the time and chatting. And I don't know, I do a lot of great things in my year. I travel a lot, and this is something that I'm really, really excited about. I've never been to New Zealand. My friend just moved there, and he just posted photos up on Facebook. And I'm not just saying it. Like, I know that the people of New Zealand, the land of New Zealand, like, that's my place. So I'm super excited. Anyway, so thanks for taking the time for this.